things that we love to do here in Tuscaloosa is we dive into the history side of things. When you talk about college football, we love it. We love when we could talk with the former legends of Alabama football and the college football side of things. Right now, with that, we'll welcome in someone who is very familiar with the SEC and played at the Ole Miss, and had a chance to have a son that played at Ole Miss as well as Tennessee. Archie Manning, welcome back to Tuscaloosa, sir. I hope you're having a great day.
Oh, everything's good. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. You know, we love talking college football, and we love picking the brains of those who played the game. And certainly we're looking kind of excited to talk with you for a couple of minutes. But I just got to get some advice. As someone who has raised two legendary quarterbacks, when you talk about Eli and Peyton, if you're out there and you got a dad that's listening to Archie talk, and he's got an up-and-coming quarterback, what advice would you give them as they grow in sports and they kind of develop? What's the pressure that you try to place on them, and maybe know when to back off, when to add to? How does that work out?
Oh, I think it's more back off than anything. Certainly, there's nothing wrong with I think it's great for young people to be interested in sports and to want to participate. I think in our society today, our kids need projects. They need things to occupy their time. And if they like sports and athletics, there's certainly a lot of value there, and you certainly learn a lot of great life lessons. But I think as a father, you need to be kind of careful and not go overboard. That's why they have coaches. So my advice has always been to kind of turn them over to the coach, and as a father, you just be a father, and for the daddy lessons, not the coaching lessons. So, but if you do have some children that are involved in playing junior high and high school sports, I encourage parents to enjoy the journey. I think it's just wonderful times with other parents, and with to be at the ballpark, and the highs and the lows, the winning, the losing, and all the things that go with it. I wouldn't swap it for anything.
Archie, when you look at the Manning Passing Academy, what was your goal when you began to develop this? And certainly it's become the hot button, the topic of conversation with all these collegiate quarterbacks there in your community. What was the goal when you developed the Manning Passing Academy?
Well, our initial goal is pretty similar to what it is today. We really want to enhance the high school football experience for young men. Now, we have quarterbacks and wide receivers, some tight ends and running backs, but it's a passing camp. So we want to enhance that experience, not to make you a college quarterback or receiver, not to make you a NFL quarterback receiver, but to enjoy the high school experience, because we think it's a great experience. Now, the other thing we tried to do, this was 1996 when we started the camp, especially in South Louisiana, nobody threw the ball very much, and kind of like to say when they did, they didn't throw it very well. So you would have, just teams that unfortunately maybe they won a great team. They didn't have any catch-up ability because they didn't throw. They'd get beat 24-6, but they wouldn't throw but 6 passes in a game. So it was really my middle son Peyton's idea. He was at Tennessee at the time. Is let's start a camp to try to help high school quarterbacks and receivers to get better at the passing game. And Peyton's experience came from right there in Alabama from the Bowden camp. Back in those days, Terry was coaching at Samford, and they had a camp there. And his dad came, Coach Bowden came, his brothers came. And it was the Bowden Passing Academy. And Peyton went as a high school junior, maybe sophomore and junior. He enjoyed the experience. And we kind of copied that. And Peyton wanted to do it. My other sons, Eli was just a junior high kid. He was a participant. My other son, Cooper, wanted to help out. And Coach Bowden encouraged me. He told me how much fun it was for him. It guaranteed him 4 days with his boys. And so that's been the case for me, too, the last 24 years. But we hadn't changed our mission as to enhance the overall high school experience for young men.
Archie, how have you seen the quarterback change over the course of time? Because now,
Oh my gosh, it's been unbelievable, the change. I'd like to say that we've accomplished our goal, that we've helped high school quarterbacks get better at throwing the ball and receivers getting better at routes. But what's happened, the spread formation and the 7-on-7 camps throughout the country, it seems to me Texas was kind of the leader in high school coaches going to the spread formation, shotgun formation, spreading it out, throwing the ball more. Then 7-on-7 practices, 7-on-7 camps, 7-on-7 tournaments started up around the country. So as a result, it's just amazing what we see now in the development of even 9th and 10th grade our young quarterbacks that come, and also especially the juniors and seniors. And now, granted, most of these aren't going to play college football, most of them, and certainly a very minimum number will ever be a pro quarterback. But they're better, and I think they're enjoying the high school experience more. And the quarterbacks, instead of throwing that 8 and 9 times a game, they're throwing 23 and 24. Or some places they're throwing 38 and 42, and that's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to play. So we've seen big changes over the last 24 years.
we're talking with Archie Manning, certainly a legend in SEC football history. I'm curious, Archie, if you can give us your opinion of Tua Tagovailoa.
I'm sorry, of what?
Yeah, can you give us your opinion of the Alabama quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa?
Oh my gosh, Tua is such a great player. Such a very natural, obviously great athletic ability, but super development as a quarterback, left-handed quarterback, athletically throwing the football, anticipating throws. And I had the chance I sat with Tua this year at the Walter Camp Foundation dinner up in Yale. I was fortunate enough to be getting an award. He was the Player of the Year, and we sat together and really enjoyed. Met his parents, met his family. Just a wonderful young man and great player, and he's got a great future. We're hoping to have Tua as one of our 40 counselors at the Manning Passing Camp. We have 40 college quarterbacks there as counselors. He has a little bit of a conflict. The Elite 11 is going on at the same weekend I think in Austin. And the last word I had from him, he's going to try to do both. So we're certainly welcome and hope he'll be able to come and join us.
Where do you think he needs to take that next step as a quarterback, Archie?
Oh, I think just keep grinding away. He gets good coaching. He plays on a great team. He plays in a great conference. You just keep working, keep plugging. He's doing it all right. You can't you can't watch enough film. You can't study enough. Watch some other quarterbacks. Always work on try to be a better leader, better teammate. But he's got it all, and I think just main thing for him is just keep working hard and stay healthy. And you got to have luck to do that, but you also can be smart with that. So he needs to be extra smart and avoid too much contact, try not to get hit, and just keep throwing the football that he does so well and don't get hit.
Archie, I want to go back to 1969 with the history of the University of Alabama and Ole Miss. And that first, this is hard to say in 2019. It was the first national primetime broadcast of college football. Look at how the sport has changed over the course of time. It's kind of fun to see this growth and the popularity of college football. But take us back to 1969, going into the first national primetime broadcast of a college football game between Alabama and Ole Miss.
Well, I guess the most surprising thing to me is that it's been 50 years. Now I'm reminded of that. I'll be 70 this year, so I'm reminded of that a great deal, all the things that happened 50 years ago. But that was, this is the 150th year of college football coming up. Well, that was the 100th year of college football. We all wore hundreds on our helmets, wore 100 on our helmets throughout the country that year. And but the Southeastern Conference is a great conference, as we all know these days, but it also was then. It was a great conference. that was a very exciting time for our football team, and I think Alabama too, anticipating that game. I know a lot of people would have a hard time realizing now that because there's so much football, college football on TV every Saturday, but there wasn't much football on TV. We didn't play on TV very often, and 2 or 3 times a year. But this game, we're going to play a night game on national TV. It was really great anticipation. And then the other thing about that game kind of resembled a little bit about a game you would see today, maybe in the South, maybe in the Big 12 or somewhere, like a Texas Tech and Oklahoma type game. And that was rare in those days, 1969, especially with people like Johnny Vaught and Bear Bryant at the helm. Most games were 13-10 or 17-14, excuse me, type games, and this game was just wide open and up and down the field.
We're talking with Archie Manning, and Archie, I got a final couple of questions here for you. I want to take you to the Manning Passing Academy, and Mike Detillier told me about this and how cool of an event this is. The ladies football clinic that you get things started with there at Thibodaux, Louisiana, Nicholls State. Talk about the ladies' evening as you open up the Manning Passing Academy here in a couple of weeks.
Well, it's just something with Ashley we felt like we wanted to do, needed to do, and tried to get some ladies and women involved. And we had a kind of a clinic. They had a clinic and a night on the field. We're going to do it before our camp this year, and hope we'll once again have good participation. And it's more kind of informing. Ladies just want to know a little more about the game, and they watch it with their husbands, they watch it with their boyfriends, they watch their kids play, and so just to make the ladies a little better informed and on the game, and it was a fun thing for us. We'll continue to try to do it.
Final question. From your perspective, you've played the game at a high level. You've been a part of it, as we've talked about here on this interview. I'm curious what you see in Nick Saban that allows him to have this much success. We kind of watch it from our front row seat here in Tuscaloosa, but I'm curious from someone like yourself, what do you see in Nick Saban that's allowed him to have this much success?
Well, Nick is just, it goes without saying, he's a great football coach. I consider Nick a friend. I really cherish his friendship. And I haven't known him all his coaching life, or they didn't know him when he was coaching at Michigan State and so forth. But I'm so impressed the way he goes about his business. He's gone what he did in Michigan State, what he did at LSU. He went to, and he goes to Alabama and just what he's accomplished there. He grinds, he works hard, he recruits, he coaches hard, and I think he hires good people to coach for him. He's a great evaluator of talent, and he's great. He and his staff are great developing talent. So they compete at the highest level, and just what he's accomplished there, winning multiple national championships, is certainly impressive. He's without a doubt, one of the greatest college football coaches of all time.
Hey, Archie, thank you again for helping us preserve college football history. We love to talk this game of college football, and I really appreciate you being a part of the show and talking about the Manning Passing Academy, what you guys have been able to do there at Thibodaux, Louisiana, Nicholls State, and we appreciate the conversation here in Tuscaloosa. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Glad to be with you. Have a great day.